Valorant's patch 9.1 is out today. Here's what you need to know. Lots of changes in this one, starting off with the brand new regen shield, which everyone can buy in the shop for 650 credits. It initially only has 25 shields, just like a light shield, but has the added benefit of absorbing 100% of the damage compared to the other shields which let some through. 3 seconds after being broken, the regen shield will regenerate and go back to 25 shield. It can do that a total of 2 times in a round, so that's 3 separate instances of 25 shield being possible. Moving on to the agent changes, and we're starting things off with a Cypher Nerf. A 0.5 second delay is being added before the full wall hack reveal applies to enemies hit by his trapwire. This gives people a small window to run into the trapwire and break it before actually being revealed. They also nerfed Cypher's ultimate, increasing the cost from 6 orbs up to 7. Next up, Sage is getting a few buffs today. Her self-heal is being increased from 30 HP up to 50 HP, her ultimate is having the cost decrease from 8 points down to 7, and her slowing orb will now additionally slow dashing enemies, so jets and neons, by an extra 50%. Phoenix is of course getting his buff today too. His molly and flash are swapping abilities, so this means that curveball is now his signature and he'll get it for free every round. That also means getting 2 kills will reset the charge of this flash. Hot hands is now on queue and will cost 200 credits. Lastly, Phoenix's wall will now go through terrain, similar to a harbor wall. Next, a nerf to Omen with a lot of his one-way spots being removed. Riot said he can now only place smokes where players can stand, so for example, the one-way smoke in A main ascent will still work, but the one in tree will not. Deadlock is getting 2 quality of life changes. Firstly, her ultimate will now always kill the target when the timer expires, so this is a fix to the bug where the player would sometimes get stuck. Additionally, there are new visuals for Deadlock's ultimate and wall to make their health status more clear. Clove got a small quality of life change. There are some clarity updates to their smokes. For example, the enemy's Clove smoke is now a deep red, so they're easier to differentiate. There was also an accidental nerf to Clove's ultimate, with the time to get a kill being reduced from 12 seconds down to 10 seconds. That happened all the way back in patch 8.11, but was mentioned in today's notes. Finally, the last agent change, Jet's passive will no longer work when suppressed or detained. This one came out of nowhere, but the combat report is getting nerfed today. Previously, you would immediately get intel from it that you otherwise had no way of knowing. For example, how many people you hit with a breach flash. This has now been delayed, and the information will only appear once the round has resolved. Another broader update, concussors in general are being buffed, as they will all now slow enemy dashes by 50%. So that's agents like Breach and Deadlock now being harder counters towards the movement meta. The Overheal UI got a small update for agents like Reyna and Clove, and on top of that, the smokes for Astra, Brimstone, Omen and Clove got a new visual update where that indicator that plays when the smoke is about to expire will now also play if you're inside the smoke. That brings us to the weapons updates, which there are quite a few of, mostly nerfing run and gunning. All pistols except the shorty are having their crouching inaccuracy massively increased from 0.1 up to 0.5. The classic has a number of small nerfs, I'll put the exact values on screen, and you can see overall the right click and movement inaccuracy is slightly worse. The ghost also has some additional nerfs today, with the movement accuracy being nerfed just like the classic. On top of that though, the bullet count of the ghost is actually decreasing from 15 down to 13, meanwhile the bullet count of the frenzy is increasing from 13 up to 15. All rifles are having their movement inaccuracy nerfed, so that's the Bulldog, Guardian, Phantom and Vandal, all less accurate while walking and running. There's a similar change to the Odin and Ares, with the exact values being there on screen. Finally, that brings us to the massive Phantom buff. The damage fall off is changing, so that annoying 140 dink range has been moved up from 15 meters to 20 meters, and on top of that, the entire 30 meter plus range was removed, so overall the Phantom will deal more damage from longer ranges. Also, I almost forgot to mention there are a few lighting updates made to Sunset. You can see some of the examples there from Valorant's TikTok, but overall, the visibility should be improved on Sunset. That's everything in patch 9.1 for Valorant. Honestly, a massive one today. Personally, I think I like the Phoenix buffs and the Phantom buffs the most, but let me know what your favorite changes in the comments.